Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series here on Your Mad Bros. I'm very excited for this series. It is the tier list series. I realised the other day that you viewers on the channel do not know much about the people that make these videos. Myself being Sean, I am the main one you see on the videos here. My brother David is my partner on this channel and he does occasionally throw the odd video up, but they are very few between. He has about 10 on this channel, whereas I have about 100 to 200, so I'm the main uploader. But he is the one who set this channel up with me and does give me advice on what videos to make and stuff like that, and also helps with the uploading process. But yes, today will be a tier list of my favourite platinum trophies. Now it's quite a hard category to distinguish because what what factors go into making it my favourite platinum trophy? Obviously, I'd like to put my favourite game at the very top of this, which I have platinumed. But that doesn't mean it's my favourite platinum, because obviously there's always those trophies on the trophy list which make you do things you don't want to do, like long collectible trophies, like complete the game on the hardest difficulty sometimes can spoil a platinum if you I've already invested 90 hours in, then you got to do another 90 hours just for that one single bronze as much as to finish it on the hardest difficulty. So I'm going to be factoring all these things into this tier list, trying to give it an equal mix of what was fun, what are good trophies. If a game has one really terrible trophy that I hated doing, that will knock it down a tier or two, depending on how bad the trophy was. But let's get right into this video. I did just try recording this, and I got about 10 minutes in, and then my throat decided to go absolutely full croak mode. I have no idea why. It just started dying. I can hear it doing it a little bit now, so I'm trying to take regular drinks. Oh, God. Yes, I have 59 platinums in total. I do kind of have a 60th one, which is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but it will not be in this tier list as I'm at 80% of the way through the trophies, and it hasn't currently pinged as of recording this, but it might have by the time this gets uploaded, because I will probably take a day or two editing this, so it might have pinged, because all that's really left is just to get the last of the collectibles and do the one last side quest storyline that I need. This tier list is being made on tiermaker.com. It is my favourite platinum tier list, it's called. I believe you should be able to search for it. I believe that's how the site works. I've only just been introduced to this site, so I may not be doing that completely correct. But we have God tier, S tier, Great A, Good B, Alright C, Bad D, Very Bad E, and Terrible F. And then the Do These Even Count tier. Now, that tier is solely a thing because there are a few platinum trophies on here I don't really count when I'm telling people what platinums I have, just because they either took under an hour or were just so minimal effort that I don't really count them as having earned a platinum because they don't really feel like earning. The only reason they're even on this trophy list at all is because, one, I can show you guys that I have them, in case any of you are platinum hunters yourself who don't mind staying in that trophy list with ridiculous easy trophies. But yes, it was mainly because me, my brother, and a mate or two of mine do get into competitions from time to time of who can get more platinums, and when we start getting on equal terms where we both have the matching number, we just want to get one quick platinum just to overtake the other person. So there are a few games on here which cost 50p that I bought that took an hour, or sometimes, I kid you not, one game on this platinum tier list took me 9 seconds to platinum. Some games just, I don't know why they're even allowed to put a platinum list on it, because it kind of just defeats the point of platinum. But first up, we have Saints Row the Third Remastered. I'm going to put that at an alright tier. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Saints Row the Third, but this is the remastered version, so I did, a few months before this, get the platinum on the normal version. Which, yes, actually, I'll put this on good, because there's a reason I put this on good, and that will come in quite later in the video. But there were a few very annoying trophies that I got in the normal version that I didn't have to get this time around, because I can't sync over, so once I completed the whole campaign and felt that I had planned enough for the game again and got about 80% of the trophies, I did just download my PS4 account back on to get a few of the annoying trophies out of the way, like complete all challenges, which I think was just such a pointless trophy, and they did that just to pad the platinum time. Whether it's stuff like do a wheelie for 5 minutes, stand on top of cars for 10 minutes, streak for a few minutes and stuff like that, just random trophies that just really just shouldn't have been on that trophy. Second up, we have Crisis of the Planets of the Apes VR. I'm going to have another drink. I can feel my throat doing this again. I'm sorry, guys. Ah, God, I have no idea why my throat's deciding to do this. Yes, we have Crisis of the Planets of the Apes VR. Now, that is a very little-known game. I believe it is an exclusive to PlayStation VR, but I could be wrong on that, so don't, obviously, quote me on that. But it was, overall, I'd say that was a alright platinum. It was a very fun game. So, and I would have put it in good tier, but I'm putting it in the alright tier solely because there were trophies for finishing the game on easy, medium, and hard difficulty, which normally that wouldn't be hard on a normal game. You just do your first playthrough on normal or something, then play it on hard. Boom, job done. But for some reason, this game, when it means finish it on easy, medium, and hard, it actually means finish it on easy, medium, and hard, as in do it separately. I have no idea why. So I played a couple hours, finished it on, I think, easy on my first playthrough. I finished it on, I think my first playthrough was actually on hard. Because like I got about an hour in, then thought this game's really easy, so I did crank it up to hard, and then do a playthrough on hard. Finished it, got the trophy, expecting it to ping medium and easy. It did not, and then I had to go replay the game 2 more times. It's only like an hour or two long, but it was still just annoying. The fact that it like ruined my opinion on the game because obviously I didn't experience the same story like 3 times within like a couple of play sessions. So then, yeah, I had to finish it on easy, medium, and hard. So all right overall. Then we have my favorite game of all time, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. That's quite a cliche thing, but there is no game I've invested as much time into as The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, so it may be cliche to count that as my favorite game, but I don't care. Like, that game is phenomenal. Overall, I would say it's only a good platinum, though. It may be my favorite game of all time, but there's a few annoying trophies like Return the Fiziel to its former glory that do kind of bring this platinum list down and they do make you waste a few hours. Overall, though, I'd say there was not really any trophies I wouldn't go do again, and I have platinumed it on both the PS3 and the PS4 versions. And if they bring out a PS5 enhanced version with a new platinum list, I will definitely get that. And I may go also get the PSVR version as well one day. I don't know, but overall, a pretty good trophy list. Few annoying ones. I did get 100% of the achievements back when I was on Xbox, so if this was an achievement list, I'd probably put it roughly a similar place. But overall, good platinum, amazing game. If we were just going my favorite games tier list, then Skyrim would inevitably be right in S tier. I'd probably have to make a tier for Skyrim all on its own, because there's only one other game on this entire list which made me question Skyrim for that #1 spot. And we will get to that later. I don't see it in any of the upcoming ones, so it's probably quite far down, but that is another platinum I have. Now, Astrobot's Rescue Mission. This was a PSVR exclusive, one of the first big VR games. I believe it did win one company's VR Game of All Time awards, the Best VR Game of All Time award. Absolutely fantastic. This may be one of the only games to do that on this list, but that is a solid God S tier platinum list. There is not a single trophy I did not like doing on that platinum list, and it took me about 30 hours to platinum in good time, considering the game was only about £10 or £20 when I bought it. Fantastic game. I've played it 2 or 3 times to completion, fully 100% all collectibles, which I naturally did anyway before I was even considering hunting for the platinum, so they were very fun collectibles to find. The collectible room itself was just really good. Like, every single collectible you found in the game was kind of an actual thing you could look at. You collected like the Astrobots and you could see them all walking around inside the ship, and it was just overall a absolutely fantastic game, fantastic platinum, probably one of the only few on here which are going to be S tier. I'll try and speed this up because I have noticed I've been going for 8 minutes now and we're only like 4 in and there are like 55 more to go. So I'm going to try and do 1 minute per platinum, so this will come down under an hour. Now, the My Name is Mayo platinum. For the sole purpose of it was strenuous, I won't put it in the does this even count tier. I will put it in F tier because it does have a bit of personality to it. I'm going to go right ahead and skip a few ahead and just quickly go grab My Name is Mayo again and bob it in the terrible tier. Actually, I'm going to put that one at the do this even count tier, actually. I'll keep one at terrible tier, one at do not even count. But yes, I did get the PS Vita version of My Name is Mayo because it was like 50p at the time I bought it, and then I did see a thing online saying that if you do get the PS Vita version, you get the PS4 version for free, and then it has a separate trophy list. So in one day, in about 2 hours, I did get both of the platinums. But this did give me mad cramp, which is the only reason I'm not putting in does this even count tier, because it was somewhat strenuous, I guess, to get this platinum. So yeah, one of them doesn't do not even count because the second one it just no, like I got it quicker than the first time because I knew what I was doing, and it only took like half an hour. First one took about 45 minutes, second one took about half an hour because I was in button mash mode at that point. Infamous Second Son. Now this is a shame because for some reason it's put Econ Son. I have no idea why. I've only spied that now. But yes, Infamous Second Son, one of the very first PlayStation 4 exclusives to come out at the start of the gen. I'm torn between alright and bad, and I'll put it in bad, even though I did really, really love that game and finished it about 6 times, but there is only one specific reason I finished that game 6 times. I got about 90% of the trophies on my first playthrough. The only trophy I did not have was for finishing the game on the hardest difficulty. Seemed nice and simple. I didn't find it too hard on normal or whatever difficulty I played on. Booted up a new campaign, picked the hardest difficulty, played through the entire game, got to the end credits, didn't find it too hard. The last boss was a bit of a struggle, it wasn't too hard. In about 1 or 2 play sessions, 8 hours each, finished the game on the hardest difficulty. Here is where the problem begins. The platinum did not ping. I did not know why, but the trophy for finishing the hardest difficulty did not ping. I thought maybe I did something wrong, so I thought, well, now that I know exactly what I'm doing and the spawns of every enemy and all the speedrun strategies, I will do it again. Next playthrough took me about 12 hours, 4 hours cut down. Anywhere I was going, I was getting to mission start points before anyone had even hung up the phone. I was just rinsing through the game. And then platinum did not ping the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time. So I'd done 4 hardest difficulty playthroughs of Infamous Second Son. At this point, I thought, okay, something has to be bugged here. I'll Google it. Couldn't find anything on Google until I found one Reddit forum. This was when this game first came out. I found one Reddit forum saying that someone also had this problem, finished it 3 or 4 times, but they figured out why. And it's because you choose the difficulty during the intro of the game. Not like normal things you play where it asks you the difficulty on the title screen before you start, but you play for about 20 minutes of the introduction and then it says what difficulty do you want to play on. And for some reason, the 20 minutes before you're even allowed to choose the difficulty also count towards you having to beat that bit where there are no enemies or you can't even attack or you've not even got your powers yet. Before you pick the difficulty, you've got to complete that as well, which is very annoying. So you've got to get to the choose difficulty bit, pick the difficulty, save the settings in the settings menu, quit the title screen, new game, and then it will start the game default set to the hardest difficulty. And then I minced that out in about 8 hours in a single sitting. I was annoyed at that point. I just sped run it in one sitting, got the platinum to ping, but that had tainted my opinion. This would have been probably a grade A platinum list if not for that very annoying design flaw of making you choose the difficulty that late in the game. Infamous First Light, on the other hand, I will put that in an alright one, mainly because I don't remember much about it. It was a spin-off game from Second Son, not as good, but it was a pretty good game, to be fair. Gameplay was fun. There was some annoying trophies like get really far into survival from what I remember, but it was quite short, so overall it was a decent platinum. I'm happy I got it, but I don't remember much about the game because it has been many, many years, like a good 5 or 6 years since I played that game. But I don't remember it being too bad. Trover Saves the Universe. I'm going to put this in a good. Very good game. Fantastic. I played it all in PSVR, which adds to the humour. It was just a very funny game. It was a bit annoying having to do a few different playthroughs just to get a few of the different optional story choices, but overall, really good platinum. Like, I don't have much bad about it. I wouldn't say it's a great platinum because it isn't the longest. I don't really get a huge thing from that. With the free expansion pack they brought out, it's about as high B as you can get. It's just a nice, good platinum list. Tales from the Borderlands. I feel like I'm going to put all of the Telltale games in the alright. They are fantastic games, but for actual platinum quality, I'm going to put them in alright because all you literally have to do is finish the game. If you're looking for easy platinums, there's like a Telltale bundle you can buy for like 30 or 40 quid where you get pretty much every single Telltale game. Just buy that if you want easy platinums because they're about 8 hours long each, all depending if you're taking it slow or not. And the platinum just pings the second you finish the campaign. But they are very good games. In terms of game quality, they're all B's and A's, but in terms of actual platinum quality, they're just A's. Like, they're very easy. All you gotta do is finish it. They're long enough that I'm not going to put them in the bad category, but there's no difficulty in these. There's not really a fail point. There's not any way you have to restart anything other than if you die, but it usually restarts like about 5 seconds before anyway. So, it's overall not too bad. Far Cry 5, I would let that join Tales of the Borderlands in the alright category. I feel like a lot of these are going to go in alright because they're probably really good games that just have a few bad trophies that'll nudge them down. Overall, good platinum. Definitely not as good as Far Cry 3 or 4, but yeah, I'd say that is overall pretty good platinum. A lot of people didn't like Far Cry 5. They thought it's straying a bit too far away from what Far Cry 3 and 4 was going with, the kind of insane route where like you had Vars, you had Pagan Min, you had all these cool like bad guys, and this one didn't really have as cool of a bad guy. I personally liked them, the bad people, but it did feel a bit disconnected from the series. I'm hoping Far Cry 6, from the little snippets we've seen of it, I think personally the game looks amazing. I do know some people who are getting annoyed about the fact that it's getting really political and they're worried it'll go like, just too political and it will just kind of stray away from what Far Cry was meant to be. But overall, I think the game looks really good. But yeah, Far Cry 5, alright platinum, not really anything too bad. It'd probably be in good if it wasn't for some of the annoying trophies. I remember having to go around catching some fish and stuff towards the end of it, which was a bit annoying. Like that kind of trophies which have nothing to do with the kind of theme of the game do kind of drop it down a bit. Now we move on to Slide. Immediate does this even count tier, because that right there is the game that I platinumed in about 8 seconds. It is a jigsaw puzzle with about 20 pieces, and all you have to do is finish it to get the platinum. Finishing it isn't what you've got to do. You've got to finish it in under, I think, 60 seconds to get the rarest gold, and then like there's like finish it within like 120 seconds for like another gold, finish it in 2 minutes, finish it in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So if you just look up the answer of how to solve it, which I saw on an easiest platinum video, so it had the answer on the screen. It was like, buy the game, it's like 20p. You can get it platinum before I finish explaining how easy this platinum is going to be, and I wanted to take him up on that. Bought it, and then by the time we finished like a sentence or two after that, I had the platinum trophy. It's just it's a preset position of where all the pieces are, so it's literally just like look at the video screen, don't even look at the game screen, and just mash the D-pad in the directions it says on the video, and then you get the platinum in easily under 10 seconds. Even if you were trying to do this manually, figuring out yourself, it would probably take you about half an hour to get the platinum, unless you're just bad at jigsaws, but it's only like 20 or so pieces. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank PS4 version. This was I can't remember if the film was based off this or if this was based off the film, but I'm gonna put that in the great one. It is a fantastic game. I know you hear that a lot about PlayStation exclusives, but that was a absolute banger. Like I finished that game about 3 or 4 more times after getting the platinum over the course of the years. I had it as my background on my PS4. I had like the dynamic theme for it on for a while. Amazing game, great music, great weapons, very good story. Probably not as good as story as some of the other Ratchet and Clanks, but overall I think this game was just really nice and polished. Like it had been years since like the PS2 since I'd actually properly enjoyed a Ratchet and Clank other than maybe Tools of Destruction on the PS3. So this one really brought me back into the series. I was never a massive fan of it as a kid. I always kept getting stuck. It wasn't my kind of like game. I was more of like a big RPG kind of kid. But yes, this was a very good game. Platinumed it. Still play it to this day. Every so often I'll download it maybe once or so every year or two just for a quick speed run of the game. But very good game. The Batman Telltale. I don't know if this is Season 1 or Season 2, but as I said before, all Telltale games are probably going to go firmly in the alright category. I'm not going to keep explaining why, because it's the exact same reasons as Tales of the Borderlands, just really short. I'm probably actually going to be a bit biased here and put Batman in good, because that was a fantastic Telltale game, by far my favourite one out of the Telltale series. Yeah, just fantastic game. Astro's Playroom. Ooh, that is a tough one. It was an easy platinum, but that was just... I'm gonna put it in great tier. Because it was the first thing I played after getting my PlayStation 5. And when I got my PlayStation 5, I was one of the lucky ones that managed to get it on the day. I was thankfully doing it all night with a few of my friends when the pre-orders launched. So we're all sat having drinks around the table. And then one of them just opened up their phone, had a notification being like breaking news, pre-orders have just gone live, and then you kind of showed it to everyone there, and literally everyone around that table quickly went and just pre-ordered one from the site. All like 6 of us immediately were just like, yes, pre-order, we need these. And then yeah, we pre-ordered them all. And then on the day I got one, it was like 5 in the morning, really stormy, absolutely freezing near winter. I had to go get a bus about an hour from my student accommodation to get one. There was a game store opening up at like 6 in the morning, just specifically to give away these PS5s, because it was in the middle of lockdown, so they weren't allowed to like properly open. So they had just a quick opening at like 6 to like 8 in the morning, just for people who wanted to come get their pre-orders. So I went there, waited in this like 50-person queue. It was mad that when people went there that early for a PS5. There was about 50 people like lining the street under this little like protective thing from the rain. It was absolutely freezing. I did an all-nighter the night before, so I was absolutely dead. I grabbed it, was waiting at the bus stop, just kind of hugging the box, as was everyone else there. There was people making jokes, driving past in cars, who knew people were getting them here, who didn't manage to get one. They were making jokes, being like, oh, hand me off the PlayStation, like, I really want it, stuff like that. And then I was speaking to people at the bus stop about like games we're going to play. I knew this was probably going to be the game I was going to play first, just because it's pre-installed, so I wanted to just play this while everything else was downloading, because I had like Spider-Man, Demon's Souls and all that getting ready to download. But yes, fantastic platinum. Not quite as good as the first one, just because that was in VR, which kind of gives it a bit more oomph, but this did introduce me to the PS5. The DualSense controller makes this go from a good platinum to a great platinum. I love the DualSense controller. all the haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, that stuff is fantastic. Overall, very good. Same reasons as the first one. I just loved getting all the collectibles. The collectible room on this one, I'd say, is even better. Like, it's just really pretty. You can collect PlayStation artifacts, all the different pieces of memorabilia from all the PlayStation's history, from the PSP to like the Wi-Fi adapter for it, and then like the PS1 and all the controls and stuff. You collect those and put those in a big room. Very good. And then Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I will put that with its brother up in the great tier. I would have put this in an S tier for one reason, and that is because I would have put it in the S tier if it was just a harder platinum. It was about twice as easy as the first one, if not 3 times as platinum, as like easier to platinum. Just because you didn't need to max out any of the weapons or get the mega weapons or anything. Like usually you've got to get weapons to level 10, fully upgrade them all like you did in the first game, where you actually have to use all the weapons a lot. This game, nothing of the sort. You just have to get all the gold bolts and finish the game, and essentially that is platinum obtained. I got it in 2 play sessions. I literally got that platinum about 2 days after the game came out. First play session was about 8 hours. Second one was about 12 hours. Got a hiccuping again. My throat's going back to being dead. Oh, throat, can you just nut? But yes, it was a great platinum. Can't really say much else. Fantastic game. Just absolute 9, maybe 10 out of 10 game. I don't think anything's truly 10 out of 10. It's maybe like 8, 9 out of 10. The riffs are just mind-numbing. Like, I have friends who have really high-end PCs, and like all my little lecturers and people watching YouTube and stuff are all saying like, what this does with this game's SSD is better than even most high-end PCs. Like, you have to pay several grand for a ridiculous SSD to get things to even come close to doing what Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is doing. They have fully took advantage of the PS5 next-gen software. It felt like one of the first proper next-gen games. Just you teleport from planet to planet in milliseconds. Not even millisecond, it literally, like, from what you saw in the trailers, where it stuttered the tiniest bit when they went through portals, that is completely gone. You just walk through them as if they're just a door into a house in a game. It's like you can stand in the middle of the portal, and then the marker on the map, you like the waypoint you placed comes as being both like 10 meters away and like 100 million meters away at the same time for like a brief second, because it is literally you being in 2 maps at once. I don't know how they did it. It's like Portal 2 on steroids. I have no idea how they did that. Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition. Good platinum. There's not really else I can say about that. I absolutely love the Borderlands franchise. Borderlands 1 is probably in my top 20 games of all time. I'd put it as a great platinum if there wasn't some ones like Discover All Name locations can sometimes be a bit annoying. To be fair, I'd say Borderlands 1 is... I don't know if I'd call it a great platinum. I'll keep it in good for now. I kind of wish there was a way of leaving it just kind of there, the kind of in-between zone. But yeah, I'd say it's a really good platinum. All the side quests are great. I've finished that game probably about 50 times, about every character to max level. I've utterly rinsed that game, played all the DLCs, finished all the DLCs. I platinumed both the original version and the remastered version. Yeah, just great game. Horizon Zero Dawn. Again, I will put that in a good platinum. Several of my friends have that as their favorite game of all time. The only reason I don't know like where that game stands with me is because I played it the week it released, platinumed it like immediately. I remember absolutely enjoying it, platinumed the game within a few days of it coming out, and then I haven't actually played it since because I'm waiting for Horizon Forbidden West now. It's too close to that for me to go back and play Zero Dawn. I will look up a story review of it just so I refresh my mind on the story, but I feel like I won't enjoy the new game as much, the Horizon Forbidden West, if I play this one now, because it'll be kind of like I just go straight into that. And it'll feel like I'm not playing an as new game because I'll kind of just played something similar. But yes, I remember it being really fantastic. I remember loving the combat. The machines were fantastic from what I remember. I do see a lot of clips of it, so I do remember generally some of the annoying bits. Like there was a collectible I missed on the top of the tallest like peak in the game, that like big spiry kind of tower you go up. And I remember I didn't get that while doing the mission. I didn't know it was up there, so I had to reclimb the tower, which took me like half an hour to 40 minutes. But overall, really good platinum. Collectibles were a bit annoying. They didn't really feel like they were doing much. Like the metal flowers, from what I recall, they really didn't feel like they were doing much. There was a trophy for like hitting targets, something I can't remember what it was. It was like hitting these like I can't remember what they were now, cardboard cutouts or pinatas. You're probably gonna hate me for forgetting this, but I don't know. There's also like the sun trials. I wasn't a huge fan of. I don't really like any kind of combat or time trials. That's the main reason a few games on this list do get bumped down. But it was pretty good. I do remember really loving the game. I won't say it's my favorite game of all time. Skyrim is probably not going to knock off that pedestal. I hope Elder Scrolls 6 or another game does come along and knock it down because it has been out for like 10 years now, but just the replayability alone has got that game firmly launched with it. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, fantastic game. I'd put it in the great category for games, but only the good category for platinum trophies. Now, this one will be a very controversial one, but I will put Plants vs. Zombies firmly in the... I don't know if I want to put it in the bad or very bad platinum list. Now, do not take that the wrong way. Plants vs. Zombies is a phenomenal game. I love it. It's one of my favorite indie games of all time. I used to have my tree on the PC version to about 2,000. I literally would farm it just to grow the tree, even though I looked up and knew the tree would not do anything else, but I kept buying the food. I was addicted to it. I played on the phone version, and that is the PS Vita Platinum right there, by the way. It doesn't say in that photograph. The only reason it is in bad, I'm going to have another swig, my throat is doing it again. Oh, my throat really needs to stop doing it. It's because it's really stuffed my room, because I can't have the fan on when I'm recording, because it will just utterly air destroy anyone that is currently has this on anything other than really quiet. I've just noticed my charger is not plugged in for my laptop. I need to plug it in for guys. I don't know how I forgot to plug this in. I was wondering why my computer was going a bit slow. I hope plugging this in doesn't stop the recording or make the recording stop. That would be very confident. Quickly go and plug that in real quick. This is a very professionally made video, as you can see. There we go. Okay. So yes, absolutely love Plants vs. Zombies, do not get that twisted, it is a fantastic game. Second one, microtransaction the hell out of it. Added it so you had to use keys to go onto new planets, which was originally really fun because you had to unlock the keys, but then they eventually ruined it in an update where they just give you all the keys when you first install, so there's literally nothing to strive towards. You can just play whenever you want at any point. But yes, there's one trophy which was bugged for me, and that is why it's going in the bad one, whereas it would have probably went in the alright or good category. And it was get to wave 40 on the endless survival mode. And the bug was simply I couldn't get past wave 39 because there were zombies spawning on wave 39 like gargantuas and stuff which aren't meant to spawn that early. Me and my brother had that trophy as the last trophy. Both was needed at the same time, so we both started watching the same tutorial at the same time, used the same tutorial, which was just laying them out the exact same way. Both just put our PS Vitas on the floor next to each other, and we were just going to hear the platinum ping at the exact same second because the waves are meant to be essentially the same. And then his got him to about wave 50 something. Mine died at wave 39 because I had gargantuas, whereas his didn't start showing up until somewhere in the 50s. That is when he lost, and I don't know why. And then I tried about 6 or 7 more times. Bear in mind, it takes about 2 hours to get to wave 40, so this was several days. Like I just put it on, watch a film or something, and then buy another film. I kept dying on wave 39. And then I googled it, and I did find a few Reddit articles, well not articles, Reddit forums and a few other forums and a few different sites, saying that yes, that is indeed a bug, and the only way of fixing it is to completely wipe your progress, uninstall the game, and reinstall it again, which means I have to go through the first 2 playthroughs of the game again to unlock the survival mode and get all of the plants, so I can actually get the ones needed to get past wave 40. And then it bugged again, and I kid you not, to this day I've finished the PS Vita version about 12 times. I kept taking multiple month gaps in between every double play session, and then grinding 2 playthroughs of the campaign out, and it's just repeating this. I'm just going to put it in very bad, sorry. That bug was so infuriating. I absolutely hated going for that last trophy, and the only reason I got that platinum pink is because I bugged it right back. Like, it broke. I did die again on wave 39, and I was about to just uninstall the game for probably the last time. I didn't want to leave it at 99% completion, but I was going to just uninstall the game again and probably stop going for the platinum, but it bugged. They went into my house, ate the brains, it did the usual, the zombies ate your brains, pop up on the screen, but then it said choose your plants, and gave you the screen where in between each wave you get to choose your plants, and it put that over the top of the zombies ate your brain kind of piece of UI that came up on the screen. And I was really confused. And then I selected my plants and pressed start, and then I started hearing the next wave start, and then it kicked me off back to the title screen, and I was so confused. And then when it kicked me back into the title screen, it said, do you want to continue your previous survival? I clicked yes, and it put me back onto wave 39 again. The zombie went back into the house, ate my brain again, and for some reason when it said zombies ate your brain this time, it pinged the trophy for me getting to wave 40. I don't know what happened. I couldn't replicate it if I tried, but I was so glad. But I literally had the biggest stomachache by time that thing. I literally had to go upstairs and lie down because I had a really big stomachache from just the sheer annoyance I was getting of just the fact that I might have to do like a 13th and 14th playthrough of this game. Because at that point, it just started ruining my whole opinion of the game. I tried staying true to the fact that how much I love this game as a kid and would still go back and play it now. But that one trophy has just crippled my opinion on that game. But I do just try and just filter that out when I'm talking about the game and just talk about how much I love it, the music and everything. I have it on my Spotify, it's just really good. Yes, I've talked for too long about that. There will be a few platinums which I'll just riff through real quick, but when it's ones like that where there was a really big reason why I don't like it, I will keep it nice and long. We'll just explain reasons why. Assassin's Creed Origins, I'll pop that straight in alright. I'm going to try and riff through a few of these. I'll put it in alright solely because it started getting a bit too long. It took me about 8 odd hours. You have to do every single location on the map, which just takes to make. Like it shouldn't be that shouldn't be a trophy. It should just be do like most of it or just do all of a specific thing. It should not be do every single little minute collectible and everything in every region because it was most of Egypt you could play in. And it was just too long for like an Assassin's Creed game because in the Ezio collections were like perfect Assassin's Creed games and were like 10 hours long a piece and a couple extra hours for the Hulu collectibles even though they were really big maps but they didn't like force you into anything stupid for the platinum. Like collecting the feathers and stuff was annoying with a tutorial that only took an hour because they were nice and easy to find and weren't stupidly annoying. They weren't at the end of big caves or anything. They were just on rooftops and stuff. Whereas this game, there was a mineral you needed to get into one of the areas. I can't remember what it was, but there was like a certain amount of something you needed to get one of the end game items for a trophy. And I didn't even know that item existed. And I literally had 99% of the trophies. And I was like, okay, how do I get this one last one? And I googled it, and it was like, oh yeah, they're in these like caves you've been going through for the whole game. These like ruins and stuff. And you meant to have been picking it up this whole time, and I just hadn't been. I didn't know it existed. So I had to go redo every single crypt and cave in the game just looking for this mineral. It took about 5 hours. It just ruined my ending of that platinum run, and then when I got the trophy ping, I was just kind of like, yay, just uninstalled the game. Overall, though, I do really love Assassin's Creed. If this was just a game review, it'd be probably in B tier. But yeah, that just the last few trophies just kind of broke that for me. Pre-sequel, I'm gonna have to put that in bad tier. Borderlands franchise, maybe my favorite franchise of all time, but the pre-sequel just wasn't it was a good game, but it wasn't a good Borderlands, if you know what I mean. Like, there's always that film in a franchise or episode where it's like, yes, it was a very good episode, but it wasn't the part of the franchise, if you get me. Like, there's good Fallout games, but then, like, Fallout 76 might be a good game, but it's not a good Fallout game, if you get what I mean. Like, if the Fallout series didn't exist and it was just a game in its own right, then yeah, sure, it is good, it's big, it's online, you can do stuff, but it's not good when compared to the rest of the franchise. That's a more good way of putting it. Yeah, the pre-sequel, it was fun, I enjoyed the plot, there was some annoying trophies, like having to do stuff in two-player, or just doing certain stuff. I can't fully remember like why it was annoying, just compared to the Borderlands games, not a good platinum. I can't tell if that's the logo for Fallout 4 or a different Fallout game on platinum. I'm gonna guess it's Fallout 4 and put it in the alright tier. Long platinum, a couple of annoying trophies. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put it in good. It's along the same lines as Skyrim. There's a few annoying trophies like doing all this endings and stuff, but pretty good game. I really like Fallout 4. It's my favorite out of the Fallout, which will probably annoy a lot of people. A lot of people like saying Fallout 3 on New Vegas, but I really like Fallout 4. It's just a good game to boot up, do like a special run on it where like snipers only or like a specific like character build. Just nice, good, easy way to tailor your characters. Don't need to like focus too much on special. You can kind of do anything build at any point. I really like that. Just nice dip in, dip out for some good play sessions. I've finished multiple hundreds of playthroughs at this point. Well, not hundreds, probably about 100 playthroughs. I have just recently gone and got 100% of all DLC trophies because I did recently get the DLCs. So I've gotten 100% in Nuka World and that. Which, if those trophies were included, this would be straight in a very bad tier for trophies like making all the Nuka-Cola bottles and getting all the tickets. They are terrible trophies that should not exist, but they're not part of the platinum, so the actual platinum itself, base game, stays at just a good overall B tier. Lego Batman 2, this one is. Lego Batman 2, I'll put it on alright. It's one of, if not my favourite Lego game of all time, apart from maybe Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. Or actually, no, I'd say probably Lego Lord of the Rings is probably my favorite one of all time, just because I love the Lord of the Rings. It's one of my favorite franchises. Lego Batman 2 is really good. There's just really annoying trophies like on the back of the gorilla climb to the top of the Bruce Wayne Manor and stuff like that, which are just really pointless trophies. I don't really like how big Lego games are getting. This was about as big as I will allow. I don't like when they're taking like 100 hours now, just redoing everything in the open world, getting gold bricks. That are starting to just take the nick. The Force Awakens, I started just to realize that games are getting too big. The new Star Wars game is going to be really good, but I don't think I'm going to go for the platinum solely because replaying levels just to get collectibles, but like it's fun on games where like they're really well hidden sort of thing, but they're usually really obvious in this because it's like I'll have like red dots floating around it to show that oh, come back here with a Sith, or I'll just have a picture of the droid on the door, kind of thing on Star Wars games. Like Batman 2 though, really good game. I love DC and Marvel sort of stuff. But yeah, I really liked it. One of my lecturers actually worked for Traveller's Tales for about 10 or 20 years or so, and he did work on it, and I was very happy when I finished that game because I could see his name in the credits. And it's really cool being taught by someone who's actually in the industry, but he has worked on most of the LEGO games. I did recently finish LEGO Lord of the Rings, and his name is in that credits list as well. And I love just being able to go into my class and be like, hey lad, I just got the platinum on this game and stuff, and then he's like, oh yeah, I remember working on that, and he can tell me specifically what he did. In Lego Batman 2, he worked on the for the power-up where Batman gets those kind of like RPG pods on his back. He actually did the shooting and the animation where the rocket kind of spirals and explodes. He did that, and that's really cool. He was telling me about when he worked on like some of the Lego Star Wars games, like how like the door destroying works and stuff, and he did like bits of the scrolling text and stuff like at the start, and he got to like show us some screenshots and stuff. He worked on. It's just great being taught by someone from the gaming industry, so it's just fantastic. So it holds a place in my heart just for the fact that I'm taught by someone that made a game that made my childhood. Like I played that with a load of mates as a kid. A lot of the Lego games and stuff, and he has worked on the majority of them. And yeah, it's just really good. Knack 2, that will join in the alright. I love the Knack games, but I don't know what it is about it. It's about the platinum. You've got to finish it several times to unlock all the different knacks and do all that kind of stuff. But the first game was a much more annoying platinum. I don't have it. I know people that have got it, and they've literally told me just not to go for it because it's not worth the time. You've got to finish the game with every different knack and just do all this other stuff. It's just no, it's just not for me. But yeah, Knack 2, really love Knack 2. It's a great sequel. I'm very torn if it's as good as the first one. I'd say they're probably bang on equal. Like, it was just a good sequel, matched the first one, didn't beat it, didn't do worse than it. Platinum was a bit easier, so I'd say it's a bit better if you are Platinum. But yes, good game. Walking Dead Telltale, I'm not going to explain it this time, I'm just going to bob it in the alright tier, you guys know why. Skyrim, I will join that one. I think that is the remastered one, just because when I picked it up it had a little white bit back to it, but I can't really tell. But yes, I will bob that next to the other Skyrim for obvious reasons, as they are the same game. If it's the remastered version, it's obviously a bit better, because all the bugs are taken out and it's a bit more clean. Counterintuitive to the point, I did actually get the PS3 version Platinum later than the remastered version. I got the remastered version years ago when it came out, but I did only a few months ago get the PS3 version because I saw it in a store for about £1, so I thought I could probably speed run that Platinum in a few days. I just got the Platinum again, just for the sake of saying I have Skyrim Platinum twice. And when I get the PSVR version, I will be one of the people that have all 3 instances of Skyrim Platinum. But yeah, it's just I don't know why I said it's yeah, it's great. It's obviously my favorite game. In the terrible tier, I will slap Rockets. That was another one of those games that you probably haven't heard of that I bought solely to try and win the Platinum contest. It's about a 2-hour to 3-hour long Platinum. A bit of RNG based because you're playing against AI, but it is just, it's kind of like Rocket League, but with like rocket ships. You just kind of fly around and just try and beat the other player. You can grind most of the trophies out on your own. The second player helps a little bit with 1 or 2 of them. 3 hours. It's a very game. It feels more like an app you download on a phone rather than an actual game you pay for on this. But yeah, overall, not too bad, I guess. It's good. I'll put it in terrible just because it's like it's not a good platinum trophy. You know, it took about 3 hours. And then this is it's the same picture, but I'm gonna call this one the original Saints Row. The first time I platinumed it. I'm gonna put it in bad. Actually, I'm probably gonna put it in very bad. Fantastic game, but just too many bad trophies that I really hated going for, like doing all the assassinations, doing all the car ones. The last car one in particular, where there's a car on the very top right, and you've got to get it to the bottom left, and you've got like a 5-star wanted level. I think you have to get a bus or something back to the other side. That was a terrible trophy. Assassinations don't even feel like a part of Saints Row. Like they're there, no cutscenes or dialogue. Characters don't talk to you during it. It's just like run people over near the airport to get the person meant to kill to spawn, and then they just spawn and kill them. It's just really not a good like platinum list, but fantastic game. So that's the only reason it isn't very bad and not terrible, because the game itself is phenomenal. But just yeah, it's a no for an actual platinum list. Borderlands 2, my third favorite game of all time. It used to be second until another platinum on the list came along, but straight good. If the badass rank trophy wasn't on there, it'd probably be a great platinum, but I'm gonna put it on good. My third favorite game of all time, as I said, it's probably the only game that matches Skyrim in playtime. Just a fantastic game. I know the drop locations to every single legendary in the game, including DLC ones, except for maybe the odd one. I've had pretty much all of them except for the odd one. I think the Cobra sniper rifle, it's not a legendary, but it's a very rare gun. It's one of the few things I don't have if any of you know Borderlands 2. You may have heard of the Cobra, it's just a like 0.000 drop rate, pretty bad pink sniper rifle you get from one of the DLCs. But yes, phenomenal game. If this was a game rating list, it'd be in solid S tier. I've farmed for every legendary countless times and will do it again. I'm currently doing another run on Borderlands 3. I love the Borderlands franchise. But yeah, overall B tier, good platinum. Lego Harry Potter. Again, I love the Lego games, but I don't like the platinum list solely because I don't like having to replay the levels the exact same. They don't play any different. There's not any benefits to using other characters. It's just solely to open the collectible doors or crates. They're all essentially the same. I'm probably going to put them all in alright tier just because... I'll probably put that one in bad tier just because it's definitely no... Actually, no, I'll put... They're all alright. Lego Batman 2 was good because it's my favourite one. But Lego Harry Potter's, I like them slightly less. They're just all kind of the same. Like, all the Lego games are essentially the same, just obviously different skins on the characters. And if we talk about it seriously, but they are really good games. Like, I do love the Lego games. I've bought and played pretty much all of them, apart from I think Jurassic World was one of the only ones I didn't get. But yeah, overall pretty good. Accounting plus VR. Now I should put it in very bad, but if I'm sticking to my rule of because of how easy the platinum was, it took me one sitting to get every single trophy. But I will put it in alright because the game was so funny and had me laughing so hard that I think it deserves an alright. The platinum list itself, no, but the platinum list was really fun, regardless of how short it was. And I think it's just funny enough and fun enough that it kind of alleviates the quickness of the platinum somewhat. And now, the remastered version of Spider-Man PS4. Gonna put it in a good tier. I did it in 18 hours the second time round. The first time round, I did it in about 20 odd because obviously I was playing it slower because I was just enjoying the game. Second time round, I just wanted to get the platinum out of the way because I got it in a bundle with the new Miles Morales Spider-Man, and I just wanted to play through it again just to catch myself up on the story. So in 2 play sessions, like an 8 hour and an 8 hour, I did just binge that plot out just to get it out of the way, so to refresh myself of what happened, just so I can then go straight into the sequel and just enjoy it fully. So yeah, it's a very good plot. I'd say if it didn't have any of those annoying combat or swinging trials, like any trials in a game just ruin a platinum. It'd be in a great, if not an S rank, if just didn't have those annoying ass trials, because the gameplay is so amazing and the story is phenomenal. It's just the odd trophy on platinum list which just destroy the goodness of the platinum. I'm curious as to what's going to happen soon because the tier list is about to reach the end of the good line. I don't know if they start shrinking. I've never used the software before. Far Cry 3. I'll put that in alright with Far Cry 5. Actually, you know, I'll put it in good. Oh, it goes in it. That's pretty cool. I like this software. I'll put it in good. It's better than Far Cry 5, so I'll put it in good. It's my favourite of the Far Cries. Very good. Obviously, Vars and Hoyt, fantastic villains, especially Vars. Like, I love Citra and like the whole Tatao and the Rakiat. Like that entire game is just fantastic. I love the skill tree, just the fact there's a tattoo on the arm. I would love to get that as a tattoo sleeve if I did not have a crippling phobia of any kind of needle. That's a little thing I don't think I've mentioned this time before, but yes, I do have a crippling phobia of needles. But yes, Far Cry, very good platinum list overall. Yeah, apart from like some of the hunting trophies and stuff like that, which I don't really like having to go and do what feels like pointless stuff just to get the platinum, but really good game. Can't really complain. Job Simulator, I will... To be fair, I'll probably put that in very bad. The game itself, absolutely fantastic. The platinum list, however, I did get that game for Christmas when I got the PSVR, and I did platinum it on Christmas Day without taking the headset off. It took about 4 hours. It was literally like I put it on. In terms of value for money, for platinum wise, I will put terrible, just because of I got it in one sitting, and when it's a VR game as well, that is a feat. Like, because like you obviously can't play for very long, your eyes strain, you get tired from standing up and flailing your arms about, but all you really have to do is finish it and then just one or two quick ones for just doing stuff on levels. But yeah, it was a in terms of games, it's a very good game, probably a B tier, but platinum list just ain't it. I do plan on doing more of these tier lists as well. Like I do want to do an anime tier list because over the summer holidays now I have watched a few more animes and like I've watched the new like Demon Slayer film that come out and stuff like that. So I have increased my anime list count. I was originally before like this year I probably had only watched about like anywhere like probably around 10, probably a little less, probably like 8. But now I'm probably nearly in the 20 mark. I have been binge watching a lot of them. So I think like I've watched enough now to give a good opinion on what my favorite animes are. So I'll probably keep this format, except for the do these even count because of course they count. But I'll probably keep the same format for those ones. I can't remember what I was putting. Oh, yeah. Overall, Job Simulator, just a very quick and easy platinum. And now, you probably just saw it. The only game to ever make me question Skyrim for the #1 spot. None of you probably saw this coming, but Shadow of War. I will put that solely in a great spot. The platinum I thought was more fun than the Skyrim platinum. It didn't seem to have any really pointless ones. The collectible ones and that I did them in about an hour, so there wasn't like a return the Thieves Guild to the former glory-esque kind of trophy in that game. But that was the only game to ever make me. I literally, when the credits rolled, I literally sat forward in the chair, listened to the music, hand on chin, and I stared at the floor for about 10 minutes, thinking, did that actually just knock Skyrim off its pedestal after about 8 years at the time when I played that game? Because the Lord of the Rings franchise, before Avengers Endgame came out, the Lord of the Rings was my favorite film of all time, was the first Lord of the Rings film. I absolutely adore that franchise. It is fantastic. Like I've played pretty much every game dating back to the PS2. I've played the PSP Tactics game. Like I love Lord of the Rings, and Shadow of War is just everything I love. Like the Arkham games, the combat, the fighting, the brutality I love from watching like all brutal films and playing brutal games, just meshed into one. Lord of the Rings, the Nemesis system, just everything about that game is fantastic. And the Platinum just wants you to simply screw around doing some cool stuff like make an Olog kill a captain and do just other fun stuff in the open world. Finish the game, no dumb stuff like finish the game on the highest difficulty, just really good. Absolutely fantastic game. I love that game to bits. I really hope to do a PS5 enhanced version with haptic feedback. I would love that so much. I don't think they're going to, but just, I love that game. I did try going back and playing it again, but it is hard to go back to like 20 to 30 FPS when I've gotten used to like 120 and 60 FPS on the PS5. But I will most likely go back and play it again at some point, despite the low frame rate, just because absolutely fantastic. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Ooh, that is a tough one. I'll probably match that with good. Actually, I'll probably put that in great because the time trials and that felt a lot shorter, and Screwball isn't in this game. That alone is just mwah. Like if you don't know who Screwball is, go play the first Spider-Man game and the DLCs, and you will understand the meaning of Screwball. It's quite actually just Screwball. Just no to Screwball. But yes, fantastic game. Very good sequel. If it was just an hour or two longer, I would probably put it on par, if not a bit better than the first game. I like Peter Moore as a character, but they did Miles Morales so well. I've never been a huge fan of his character. I've not read any of his comic books. I was never a huge fan of Miles Morales until the Into the Spider-Verse movie. But they have done him so good in this that I did actually recently want to go and order a few of his comic books because I absolutely love him now. He's a great character. His suit is beautiful in this game. I love his suit. One of my favourite Spider-Man suits. But yes, that's a good game. Amazing platinum list. Very short. I did get the platinum in about 18 hours, which is pretty much bang on. My second attempt at the platinum on the first Spider-Man game. So in terms of platinum time, if you're just speedrunning the platinum, you can get them both in pretty much the same time. But it's just a really good game. I've gone and finished it a few extra times. Afterwards, all LEGO games I'll probably put in the alright category. LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean. My lecturer worked on that as well. I'll pop that in the alright category as well for the same reasons. I don't want to keep explaining it for the LEGO Platinums. Are there any more LEGO Platinums in this? I don't think there are. There are not. South Park: A Fractured Butthole. Oh, that's a good one. I don't actually know where I'd put that game. I forgot I had that platinum. It's a fantastic game. I love the South Park series, but I guess I'll put that in good. It was a good platinum, to be fair. You had to finish in the hardest difficulty, but it was a perfect hard difficulty. That like it wasn't too annoying. There were no really stupid difficulty spikes. I only lost a few times playing at the hardest difficulty, but it was just good. Like I don't really have much qualms apart from the collectibles being a bit annoying to find. I'd have to look up a few of them, but it's just good humor, good combat. I really like that kind of game. Yeah, it's just platinum good. The Playroom VR. Now that is a. Is it great or is it good? I think Astrobot may end up actually being the only God platinum, but I feel like a lot of you are going to really hate the fact that that's God, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate comments being like, "What do you mean Skyrim's not God? What do you mean this game's not God? What do you mean this game isn't a God platinum? Put that right. Tell us now. You're a tell YouTube." But yeah, the Playroom VR is a very great platinum. You do need more than one person, which is it makes it unique from everything else on this list. You do need two people. But yeah, that was just a great plat. Pretty short, but all the mini games are just peak PSVR. Why PSVR is my favorite headset? It's very more couch co-op than the other ones. You can share to a big TV screen. Everyone can see what you're doing at all times. And the Playroom VR takes that to another level where they all play with you, even though they don't have the headsets on, and they're doing different tasks to you. So there's one where there's like you're in a haunted house, and the person in the headset has to shoot the spirits and trap them inside their DualShock 4, but they can't see them. The people on the people who are looking at the TV screen are the only ones who can, and they have to describe to you where they are. It's really good. Like there's one where you're a big sea monster, the guy in the headset's a big monster, and everyone else are the little like Astrobot kind of machines running around and have to kind of like run away from run away from the big snake monster that you're currently like in control of, and then they have to fight you at the end of it. It's all just really good. Nice platinum list, no annoying trophies. The saloon one was a bit annoying to beat that high difficulty, but that was also really fun. So yeah, great platinum. A lot of Japan Studio stuff I'm noticing now is right at the top. Like there's not one so far that's been like below it. Like all the Astrobot related stuff is just great to God to. I love that franchise. I really want to see what they do next. Bugs, what a meme of a game. I will put that in good, to be fair. I do really love Bugsnax. It did become a meme with obviously the theme tune from the trailer. It got slated a lot by Xbox fans and some places and fans just watching the trailer because they were like, "Why is this at the showcase?" It's like it's a cartoon game. The graphics are bad. But on a real note, Bugsnax is really good. It's like a kind of gotta catch 'em all Pokemon feel to it. Has more personality than most games I've played in recent memory. It's just one of those really good. I'm gonna call it AAA indie. It's not indie and it's not AAA. Well, it is AAA. I don't know what it is. It's just good. Collecting all the Bugsnax is really fun. Trying to figure out all the creative ways you catch some of them, like throwing Bugsnax over Bugsnax or lowering them with certain sauce packets or like. I want to order a plushie of some of them. Like my favorite Bugsnax is the popsicle. But I really love like the bunga because of just the bunga, the really dirt noises it makes. There's just so many really creative snacks on there where they turn food into just puns that walk. It's just yeah, it was a good platinum. I'm tempted to put it in great, but it's not got enough replayability to go in great, so I'd say good. I feel like this list is turning more into my favorite game, so I'm going to keep it in good because platinum list. Even if the game was replayable, it would have make the platinum better, so I'm going to keep it in good. But yeah, overall good platinum. Albedo slapped that straight away in terrible. If you don't know what Albedo is, I think it's called Albedo Eyes Lost in Space or something. It's another one of those cheap games I bought for £1. I believe it was made by one guy. That's the only reason it's not getting put into these even count. He's got to be at least a bit credible for making a game all on his own and getting it on PlayStation. But it's about 2 hours long with a tutorial, and it's just a really bad game. Not my kind of game. It's like a puzzle game. It makes you do really just stuff that I wouldn't have thought of if not for a tutorial, like pick up a rat like 10 times until it bites you. Just stuff like that. It's just not good. It's just a really bad problem. Minecraft, you know what? I might put that in great. It makes you play the game in every way in the original game, like riding a minecart really far in a direction. It makes you play in every way that the original updates have. Obviously, they keep updating new trophies, but just the platinum lets you experience the full game. You've got to breed stuff. You've got to like get the most damaged weapon you can get. You've got to spend a load of time playing it to get the day's trophy. Go to the end, kill the last boss, do all that other stuff. Like, it's just a great game. That's probably my second or third highest playtime game. Like Skyrim and Borderlands 2 are definitely the two highest. Minecraft is up there just for the amount I play it online with friends, doing like 2-player survivals and stuff like that. really good. I did about a year ago pick up Pixelmon on PC, which adds a whole new like layer of fun to the game, being able to do a survival with like Pokemon around. That's like a dream game, big open world Pokemon game, which we are actually getting one next year with Arceus. But yeah, overall, great platinum list. I didn't think that many games were being great. I don't think anything else is going to break God tier. Guardians of the Galaxy, again, it's a Telltale game. I'll bob that in the alright one. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, I'm gonna put that in bad. I wanted to keep them all the same at alright, but that did start getting too long to the point where I started not liking it because I was just going through planets doing. I had to Google a few of them because I just couldn't be bothered trying to figure out how to get some of the collectibles because they just. There was one as well that kept crashing. It was like an actual bug where there was like a 50-50 chance when you pick up the brick it will just crash your PlayStation 4. Don't know why it was a bug, but I had to pick that up about 10 times, which just probably drops it from alright to bad just for that one frustrating bug alone. But it's a good game. Definitely no complete saga, considering they turned that into a whole game on its own when the film's like an hour long. And I don't know why it was like a 30-hour platinum, even though the film's only an hour long. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, the complete saga, if it had a platinum list, would take about that long to platinum. So I don't know why they made The Force Awakens as long as a game. There were more extra stages from like different films than there were actual Force Awakens campaign levels. Like, I don't get why they did that. Castle Crashers. This was my 59th edition. I got this the other day. I'm gonna put it in alright, solely because there was one annoying trophy for surviving 2 minutes 30 on this weird chess minigame they added to the remastered version. I don't know why they added it. It's like you've gotta not let the enemy pieces step on top of your one piece, but it just became a button mash session when they started getting close to you, and it's just really bad trophy. But Castle Crashers, I love, one of my favourite indie games. I got it a few days ago and platinumed it within like 2 or 3 days of getting it. That one trophy took about 3 hours, which was that was about as long as it would have finished the game itself. So that one trophy was just stupid. That knocked it down from a good or even a great platinum list to just an alright platinum list. But apart from that, get all the pets. I loved hunting for those. There were some hidden in really creative ways. There weren't too many of them either. They were just nice that there was a good amount of pets, so it didn't start getting annoying. There was no annoying trophies like get every single piece of gear in the game. It was just like just play the game, enjoy the game. You only have to finish it with whatever character you like. You can play with any of the characters, including the DLC characters, and still get the trophies for doing it. So yeah, just overall, like, alright platinum list. Final Fantasy 15. Oh, that was a game. I'm gonna put that in good. I'm tempted to put it in great. Ooh, I don't know. To be fair, thinking back to it, there was no trophy that really annoyed me. Just the campaign, beautiful. The music, that I think it's called Somnus, the kind of theme tune that plays on the title screen or like the credits. I can't remember which one it is, but it like plays the actual singing version of that, which plays either during the credits or on the title screen after you beat the game, is just such a beautiful soundtrack. Definitely one of my top 5 video game soundtracks of all time. I could make that as a video as well, just for like I kind of tailor to my favorite video game soundtracks. Because number 1 will probably surprise you. It surprises pretty much everyone because it's a specific boss theme, and it's not usually what people consider the best boss theme from that franchise. I'll tell you more about that in a different video, but it is from the Dark Souls franchise. Spoiler it, but I'm not going to say which one. But yes, Final Fantasy 15, beautiful game. The Adamantoise or the Adamantoise, whatever the pronunciation is of that, I always get it wrong. It was a really good last boss. I did kind of bug it. It was weird. I did upload it as a video on this channel, I believe. Its head started shrinking during the boss battle because I kept using the ring on it, and for some reason it was just making its head shrink. Don't know why. But that game was amazing. I'm going to say this now, and I'll probably get a lot of hate for it. I don't like the Final Fantasy franchise, or I didn't. Like, I hadn't played any of the Kingdom Hearts at this point. Hadn't played Final Fantasy 7 or any of the PS2 or PS1 ones. I was just not a fan. I loved strategy games. Like turn-based fighting is probably one of my favorite genres. Like, I love Lord of the Rings Tactics and all those kind of games. There was also a good Lord of the Rings game called Lord of the Rings Third Age on the PS2. But I couldn't get into any of the Final Fantasies. I don't know why. I got Final Fantasy 7 on the PS Vita. Got about 6 hours in, then I got a bug which made it so I couldn't continue the game, but I didn't really feel like continuing anyway. I just wasn't getting into it. I blew up the reactor at the start and did a few little chunk after that, but I just wasn't into it. But Final Fantasy 15, I got for my birthdays or Christmas. I can't remember which one it was. Or I might have just bought it because I thought I heard some good stuff, but I can't remember. But I've invested so much time into it. I've finished it 3 times or so, and it's quite a long game. And every time I do most of the side quests and open world stuff when I do it. So it's about a 60-hour playthrough each time. So I've probably put upwards of 200 hours of the game at this point, or around 200 hours. Just a really good platinum list. I can't really say much else about it. It's just great. Good game. Rocket League, I'll put that in a very bad platinum list. The game itself is very good. I don't really go for big multiplayer games a lot, but I have had a lot of fun with Rocket League playing with my brother. And like a few mates I used to play with did used to play it, but my brother's the main one I play Rocket League with, or at least I did back in the day. The only reason I'm putting it in very bad is because it's a very exploitable platinum list. If you guys are struggling to get the platinum, simply play on your own against an open net, like play against bots, but don't turn the bots on, and you can get about 90% of these trophies. The only one trophy you can't get is play with someone on your friends, I think it was, or play with someone online or something like that. It was a trophy similar to that. But like I had my brother have that game anyway, so I got all of the trophies apart from that one in about 6 hours. If you just play against an open net, you can just set up trick shots yourself and get them all. The only trophy I couldn't get is drive for a certain amount of time. I literally got every trophy, and I hadn't even drove a quarter of the required kilometers to get that trophy. So I just elastic banded, or I think I elastic banded or blue tacked the analog sticks into a circle so my car drove in just a loop for about like 3 or 4 hours till the trophy pinged. But yeah, just a very easily exploitable trophy list. It was a shame. I would have liked to actually like have to work for that plan. I could have just not exploited it. That is on me, but like considering that's what I did, this is more of my opinion on how much fun I had getting the platinums, not whether the platinums are good themselves. So yeah, I didn't like getting that platinum. It was just too quick, too easy. I'll put that in the same kind of category as the actually the remastered one. I'll probably put to alright, just because redoing all the combat challenges and stuff was not as fun as doing them for the first time. So yeah, Spider-Man I've talked about before, fantastic game. Borderlands 1. Where did I put the last one? That was probably good, wasn't it? Yeah, good. Yeah, it introduced me to the series. Absolutely loved the game. Good platinum list. Same as before. Far Cry 4. I'll put that with Far Cry 5. It's much better than Far Cry 5, but it's not quite as good as Far Cry 3. Then again, the platinums. Yeah, this platinum. I keep forgetting this platinum's not goodness of the game, but it's about the same as Far Cry 3's platinum. Take about the same time to platinum. Both have really good bad guys. Really fun platinum list. You just got to hunt and skin the animals. But that's the main reason I don't put it in grades, just because there are a few annoying ones like doing the arena and stuff like that in Far Cry 4, which isn't like very fun. Blood and Truth, another PSVR exclusive. Is this a great platinum? Ooh. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say that is a great platinum. The collectibles were good and actually gave you more reason to play, because the more of the hidden targets you shot unlocked you more guns and skins and spray paints and stuff like that. I didn't figure out you could change the colour of your spray paints for about 30 hours, because it's literally you just tap one of the. I think you push square, which it tells you nowhere. Like you just pick up the paint, and I thought that was the paint. You know, you pick up a paint, put it in the paint gun, paint your gun, and then for some reason if you tap square, it just changes the colour of the paint that's currently attached to the gun, and it just doesn't tell you anywhere. So there's hundreds of customization options I missed out on until like the platinum was about to ping, and then I would just actually elbowed the button while I was playing through the customizing room. But yeah, fantastic. It's an amazing game. Great shooting. There's a video on my channel of a weird bug I found in the game where someone just refused to get headshotted for some reason. I was just loading mags into him and he just wasn't there. Yeah, I'm starting to get hiccups now. I'm going to get another swig real quick. Oh, I literally don't drink tap water. I despise drinking just normal water, but this seems to be the other thing that's stopped my throat dying now. It's the first full glass of water I've drunk probably ever. I usually at least have to have it like some kind of like flavoured water if I'm going to drink water, but just, yeah, I need this for the throat, otherwise this video would not be out anywhere soon. But yeah, it's just Blood and Truth with a fantastic platinum list. I loved it. Great game, great platinum. Telltale, again, they're all going firmly in alright. Batman's will go in the good because I am biased. Just because they are better than the other ones in my opinion. The Walking Dead especially, I wasn't a huge fan of The Walking Dead. I hadn't seen the series when playing it. I have since seen a few seasons, and replaying bits of The Walking Dead Telltale, it didn't make it any better because it's a new cast of characters. But I don't know what it is, it's just, it was good, I just wasn't as gripped in the plotline. Like, I already knew the ending with Lee and stuff, that had already been spoiled to me prior. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was a great one. Tales one was good. The Walking Dead, I'd probably put more to the bottom of the alright tier rather than to the top. It's just not as good as the ones. But yeah, Batman one's very good. Shadow of War. Oh god, that's another absolute banger. I'll probably put it a little bit less than Shadow of War. I didn't like getting that platinum as much, mainly because I didn't like the game as much because they really fine-tuned the MC system and stuff like that, making those trophies better in the next game. But yeah, fantastic game. It got me into the kind of like Shadow of franchise. I don't know what that franchise is called. The Lord of the Rings RPG franchise that begin with Shadow of. But yeah, good platinum for all the same reasons as the first one. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Game of the Year edition. Oh, you know what? That might be. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put it in. Yeah. That's about as good as it can get without being in the great tier. Mainly because the hardest difficulty just wasn't hard enough. I know I said hard difficulty ones usually drag it down, but I only play this game on the hardest difficulty just because the hardest difficulty is still ridiculously easy. Over my entire 80, I think it was 88 hours bang on platinum, I only died about 6 or 7 times, and about 3 of those were just falling off stuff, and the other 4 were from just random enemies that either snuck on me or hit me when I wasn't looking. I didn't actually properly die during combat, mainly because of an update they made very early in the game's life cycle where food would no longer last 20 seconds, it would last half an hour or 10 minutes, I can't remember what it was, it's a ridiculous amount of time for a healing item to last. So all you really need to do is just stockpile honey or something that heals you by about a quarter of your health every like second or two. Just stockpile that, spend all your money on that, and then just one single food item will last you several quests. I don't know why they added that as an update, it was stupid. Like a minute at most would have still been too much, maybe like half a minute. But just half an hour of healing is just ridiculous. It just made the whole game so easy. If you got hit, all you have to do is spam roll for a few seconds and you help me back to full. The only ways I really died is if I got one bombed. Like I remember there's a sewer bit where like I fired like I ignited and then it kind of like lit the room on fire and I died immediately just from like a bunch of explosives going off. That was like the first time I died on the entire run, and that's when you get to Novigrad. I think that was like nearly halfway through the game. It's like it's just yeah, the game itself is fantastic. That one trophy not being hard enough brings it down. I absolutely love Gwent. I got so addicted to Gwent. There's not a single time I booted it. That's so like a cliche thing to say, but I don't think there's a single time I booted up the Witcher where I didn't play Gwent. It's just fantastic. Um, Demon Souls, my 58th platinum. That and Castle Crashers I got in the same week. I will put that in good. It's between alright and good. The game itself is a great A tier, but the platinum had some annoying ones like get all rings, but there aren't enough rings for it to go down to alright, so I'd say it was a good platinum. I got about 9 of the trophies, 2 play it with a friend. The game itself is too easy compared to the other Dark Souls games. I died, I think, 8 times my first playthrough, and that was only because I didn't actually know I was slow rolling. Like in Dark Souls 3 and all the other Dark Souls games, you know if you are slow rolling. Your guy has a really big FUD when he hits the floor, there's a really big chunk. Your movement speed is terrible. It's like, but in Demon Souls, I actually thought I was medium to like quick rolling for my whole first playthrough. And it was only when I died to the last boss like 3 or 4 times because I wasn't quick enough where I was like, can I roll quicker? And then I like literally took my gauntlets off and then started rapid rolling around the room and was like, what the hell? This is like double, if not triple the speed. If I've only died 8 times up until now while slow rolling. Because I play most of the game upgrading health and block and stuff like that. Well, obviously you can't upgrade block, but health and just strength, and was doing a very heavy build. I just didn't feel slow enough. I don't know what it was. I kept just dying fluted out and run for the whole playthrough. But it's just not hard enough to be classed as a great like Dark Souls game, but it is a good game. There weren't enough rings or collectibles, stupid things like that's the reason I haven't platinum Dark Souls 3. I just don't want to have to go and get all of everything because you've got to do several playthroughs just dedicating the playthroughs just to getting the rings, like getting a Covenant really really far in. But this game doesn't have any of that. It's just like a simple one playthrough. Like it took me about 4 playthroughs to platinum, but like a playthrough per kind of annoying trophy. So just a quick 8-hour speedrun to get all the spells. Like quick 8-hour speedruns to get all the rings, just kept playing it again. Me and a mate synced our trophies up so they pinged the exact same second, like on our trophy list, they're within the same like few seconds of each other. We both had one last ring to get. We both stood over the last ring. It was one of the ones where you have to take a gold coin to the crow. We dropped it, both pressed X at the same time, pinged at the same time, so we'll always hold a special place in my heart for that. Because we both got the platinum to ping, and we were in a party at the same time, so you can hear us both on our platinum clips cheering. Yeah, so a good platinum overall. We're near the end of this now. That is Fallout Shelter. I will put that in alright. It's just a bit long. I had to ruin my account on the game to the point where I never wanted to play it again, which dropped it from good to alright. Because the only way you can get raider attacks is when you have less than 30 people, otherwise they become virtually non-existent. And I had over 100 dwellers when I got every other trophy, then saw the raider trophy existed. And I'd only had about 10 until that point. And I looked it up, and the only way I could actually get it is if I either started a new vault from scratch, but then it wouldn't be strong enough to stop the raider attacks, or kick 70 odd people out of my vault to get it back down to 30 so raiders would start attacking again. So that's what I have to do. And you gotta do what you gotta do for these platinums. And I kicked 70 dwellers out and utterly ruined my vault. I had to delete about 9 floors of the vault. It went down to like the max height. I deleted about 9 floors, kick about like 7 or 8 handies out of the vault. So many pets just went into the storage box because they couldn't physically put one on each person. But then every single person out of the like 20 odd people that were left were in full power, like 10 in every stat. All had like Gatling lasers or Fatmans or shish kebabs or really good weapons. Like they had miniguns, mini-nuke launchers, missile launchers, just power fists. Like just they were all gods. They were just unkillable, but that trophy ruined it. Like even though the vault was perfection and like they got energy every like few seconds, it was ridiculous. But then all I had to do then was just leave it on overnight, turn off my PlayStation suspended like system and the control turning off automatically, and then just leave it on. And then I woke up when I was literally one raider attack away by the time I woke up, and I just sat eating my dinner looking at it until the raider attack happened, and then platinum pinged, but that one trophy just kind of really declined it. Borderlands 3, I'll put it in alright, just because it's definitely not as good as the other Borderlands games, and they started adding too many collectibles again, which kind of does start ruining things for me. They don't really get you anything. You just read the Iridium tablets, get all the collapsed pieces, like discover all name locations, which means literally hoovering every little percent of a map sometimes. And like the maps in that game are a lot bigger than the other ones. Just I don't really like the bad guys. They're not as cool as Jack. Like God Queen Tyrene coming at you with a fresh meme woman and Troy. They're just not as cool. Like one of them would have done. The duo was really funny the first time around, but they kind of like Troy kind of feels obsolete on the second and third play for a little bit. Like plus they made kind of new game plus kind of pointless because I was max level and already had the platinum in the first playthrough, so I don't know why I'd ever do true or alternate mode. But obviously like that doesn't count for the platinum, so I can't downgrade it just for that. But overall, I didn't have as much fun getting this platinum. It just wasn't as good. The first time round it was. To be fair, I'll put it in good because the first time round when I got the platinum, and that's what this is based off, I did have fun on my first playthrough. Subsequent playthroughs were bad, but I'm not dropping it just because of that. But yeah, good B tier. About as fun as Borderlands 1's platinum was, but Borderlands 1 is a much better game in my opinion. God of War. Oh, God. You know what? I think no. I was gonna say it matches it in S tier, but not quite. Just because there was a few trophies at the end, like doing all of like the fire kind of realm and that really smoky one that got a bit annoying. But I'm trying to think, was that annoying enough to knock it from a god to just like as peak of great as you can get? If there was like an AS, like an S tier or a S tier, just in between, it would probably be there. I don't know. It wasn't as perfect as Asphalt ones because there was a few little annoyances towards the end, whereas Asphalt 1 I loved the whole thing. And I think that's what a Platinum has to do. If there's even a slight niggle of like thinking, I think it has to go in just great. But yeah, that is about as close to God as you can get without being the God of War of Platinums. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my thing of A tier. Absolutely fantastic game. One of my favourite soundtracks is the kind of funeral tune. I think it's called Ashes, the actual official name of the soundtrack. It's near the start of the game. That is a beautiful score. The combat is phenomenal. I'm looking so forward to Ragnarok. I just don't hope they ruin it. Spoilers for the Last of Us Part 2 here, but If they do what they do to The Last of Us Part 2, where they make the main guy you play as die straight away and you play as someone you don't want to, I will actually kill the developer of this game. If they like kill off Kratos in the first few hours and then you just play as Atreus for the whole game, I will cry. That will ruin the franchise. I really hope they don't. Or like, say if they do exactly what The Last of Us Part 2 did, where the witch from the first, well, from this God of War game comes back and kills Kratos, and you play as the witch or something. Just please don't do that. Don't go that route. I will actually head over. Like, please don't ruin my God of War. I loved it. That game is probably my top 10 games of all time. It's fantastic. Just don't ruin the sequel, please. I have very high hopes. I hope they don't break them, but I'm very confident they are not going to. They do keep getting asked to release the game early, and they said they could very well release it this year, but they're not going to, which I respect the developer for. He said he's not releasing it until it is ready. He doesn't care if he has to push the game back a year or two. He will only release that game when he's 100% certain all the big bugs or all the bugs have been polished out of the game, which I respect the developer for tweeting that. Studio Santa Monica is a fantastic studio, but yes, great game, A tier, very close to S tier, but I'm going to say A tier. Ghost of Tsushima is on similar lines with God of War. I don't think it's as good as God of War, but that is a very strong A tier platinum. I did recently get it. I'm very surprised by the recent announcement of the enhanced edition with a new expansion pack coming out. I did not see that coming at all. I hope they show some at this rumored PlayStation showcase. But yes, Ghost of Tsushima, fantastic game. Probably one of, if not the best combat systems in the game. It's just really flushed out, loads of stances. You've got to make something combat to fight them all. Just you felt every stab. There were so many different takedowns, like animations. Just really good. I actually liked doing stealth. It was one of the few games where I didn't actually hate the stealth because it was like you could insta kill. There was you could park around pretty much any much roof. You could go under floorboards. You could chuck like chimes and stuff. You could smoke bomb to get out there and hide again. Just overall, very solid game. The collectibles weren't annoying. They actually had story in them. That I didn't not like a single side quest storyline. Even the little ones that took a few minutes, like, were just really nice short stories. It was just they didn't try and over cram it. It was just nice, like collecting all the different foxes and stuff. It's actually just like a really good collectible. They're obviously adorable. But yes, I'm gonna see if I can zoom out here. See if I can get this whole tier list on one screen for the end of the video. I hope this is recorded alright. If not, then this is 1 hour and 20 minutes and you are never going to hear. I have just downloaded a free-to-download screen recording software, which I pray has recorded this and got my voice in. If not, I'm going to have to re-record a whole voiceover of 1 hour and 20 straight talking without breaks. And this isn't edited or anything, this is literally just me talking for 1 hour and 20 minutes. But yes guys, this has been my first tier list video. Astrobot Rescue Mission being by far the most perfect platinum I've ever obtained. I don't know if it's going to get knocked off that pedestal, because it can't get knocked off, it can only get joined. Where if another game, it's the only game where I've liked every single trophy from beginning to end. I have not been annoyed or even slightly not wanted to do a trophy. Even like the time trials and stuff are actually really fun, because they were played on different levels from the main game. It wasn't just time trials where you go through areas, every time trial was a unique experience because there were whole new levels you played through, so you had to actually learn new levels. It wasn't just play through the normal campaign on time trials like some of the other like time trials and other platinum lists are. It was just a really good platinum list, down to the bottom ones where Dixie's even count which slide and a second Miami's more platinum. The first one did because it's a new game, but like when I got it a second time, that was just cheating at that point. But yes guys, that is my top 59 platinums in order of how I liked the platinum, not the game. This wasn't a review. Again, I'll keep that out. This isn't a opinion on the game. So if you see Plants vs Zombies in the very bad list, don't think that is me saying it's bad. I absolutely love a lot of the games that are in the very bad and bad tier. It is just solely me and how much I like getting the platinum itself. So yes guys, I hope this recorded alright. I have no idea if YouTube will even let me upload an hour and a 20-minute video, since you usually have to apply to be able to upload longer videos. It used to just be anyone can upload anything, but they did cap you at half an hour if you don't have a certain amount of subs or haven't appealed to let your channel upload long videos, but I hope they do, because I am planning on a few of these tier list videos. Maybe one a week or one a month, just because these are quite strenuous. I have to speak for 1 hour and 20 minutes continuously without breaks. I guess I could do it in bits, but I prefer to go free flow so I don't forget where I was up to and forget what I already mentioned. Yes, guys, stay tuned to the channel. I want to do an anime tier list. Maybe like I want to do a few obscure ones like my favorite Pokemon tier list and stuff, but this isn't really a Pokemon channel. This is more of a PlayStation channel, so I don't know if I'm going to. But I have been thinking about maybe if the screen recording does work, I might record a randomized Pokemon run and see if you guys like that, or at least record a bit of one to see if you guys like it. Just a kind of randomized Pokemon special run using the universal Pokemon randomizer. You can't randomize most of the Pokemon games. I did recently finish my first randomized run of Fire Red, the Game Boy Advance kind of remaster of the original. It was really good. My end team ended up being something like, oh, wasn't that? There was a, oh, was it? There was a Dragonite. My starter was Dratini. I wanted to make a team of just Pokemon I hadn't used. There was a Dragonite, there was a Cacturn, there was a Poliwrath, there was a Ariado or something it's called, that big purple spider thing. There was a Metagross. What was the sixth Pokemon? I'm trying to think of what Tiger I mentioned. Fire? Not Fire, was it Fire? What was my sixth Pokemon? Have I mentioned six? My brain's today. Dragonite? Oh yeah, it was a Lugia. But yeah, if you want to see me do any like Nuzlocke runs or any like Pokemon just randomize in general, you want to just play a bit of Pokemon randomize or just normal Pokemon. I do have Fire Red and Pokemon Diamond emulated. I could also get Pokemon Gold off the site I use, and then have the randomized version of that as well. So if I do start doing a bit of Pokemon content, I may make my favorite Pokemon tier list. Just get my top like 20 and put them in kind of like best thingy. Or maybe like a Pokemon game tier list based on the ones I played, which would probably end up being Diamond in S and Fire Red and like that in A. And then we probably get a bit lower from that, like Sword, probably like a B. Kind of like I played bits of Sun and Moon, so they'd probably be like an E because I don't really finish them. And then Gold, probably like a C or B as well. That's a rough gist of what the video will probably looking like, so there's not much point watching the video making after that. But yeah, guys, if any of you have stuck through this far, thank you so much. I do really appreciate it. I know it's hard to sit through a video this long, but if you guys skip to the end just to see my overall final end sheet, that is great too. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at what the end result is. At least skip back a little bit to hear the explanation of why this is a list. Don't think this is my favourite game list. Yeah, stay tuned to the channel. There'll be another Valhalla glitch video coming soon if it's not already out by the time this video airs. I do want to make more tier list videos like anime, Pokemon. I might do my favourite comic book series, or my favourite comic book one. I've just thought that on because I did glance to my left and see my fat comic book pile. I do own about 70 or 80 Marvel comics and about 5 to 10 DC comics, so I might do my favourite comics, my favourite films, just so you guys get to know me more and I get some longer content out for you guys to pass the time in between my very breaks I take in between my upload schedule, mainly because I'm just currently trying to clear the very big backlog that accrued while I was at uni. I do have about 10 animes on my queue and about 10 PlayStation 5 games I haven't yet finished. So I do want to try and clear my backlog, but I will try and throw the odd video in there on the games I'm playing, like I did with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where if I find a glitch or something funny, I will just try and make a short video out of it, just so you guys get content while I'm thinking about making these big tier list videos or videos of this kind of sort. Yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. I pray this recorded. It says it is still recording at the top. I just pray it actually has. I will cry if I've got to sit here for another hour and 23 minutes. It is currently 6 in the morning at the time I'm recording this. It was about 4 when I started. I will cry if I have to do this another day again, because I will have to move every single thing back down to the bottom and just explain myself again for another hour and 20. It'll be ridiculous. Yes, guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you all in the next video. I'll stop talking now, and for now, peace. I'll see you all later.